What's up, you guys? All right, so I'm gonna be back on here. Sorry, my camera is like super blurry. I have kids, you guys. Let's see if I can fix it. So I'm gonna be on here a lot more. I forgot how much I like going live, and I was doing a lot more, and now I haven't. So, yes, I always sit on my floor because that's just where I'm more comfortable. So, like, that's what it is. So, anyway, so I want to talk today. First of all, thank you guys all for your amazing response. Last week with my announcement of what I'm going to be doing and my coaching, I had quite a few of you reach out. I've got a couple of you scheduled for phone calls to see if this is a good fit for you. So super, super, super appreciate that, you guys. I just love what I'm getting to step into, and it's just been amazing. So when you guys jump by and give me a hello, hi Virginia, tell me where you guys are watching from, how's your Tuesday going? So I'm in Colorado, and it had been, like, yesterday was beautiful and today's cloudy again. It's one of those times of year we had like the flash storm on Saturday, and then now it's cloudy again, but whatever. So anyway, so what do I want to talk about today? So I really, really want to talk about, hi here, Linda, about your energy and what it's doing to your life and to your business, okay? So, hey, Mary. So what I realized, and I talked a little bit about this the other day, but, you know, a lot of you guys know Panama. Oh, that sounds fun. So a lot of you guys know my story with dieting and that whole cycle. And as I got into this, what I really realized was that it is impossible to grow a thriving business, to grow, to be an entrepreneur, to do whatever you want to do if you're always dieting. Okay? Like, I know you guys don't want to hear that, but it's totally true. So what I realized was that for literally 20 years. Okay, let me back up. So what are we talking about when I say energy? So I don't mean like energy to go run a marathon or energy to do CrossFit or any of that stuff, which yes, we need that. That's great. But what I'm talking about when I say energy is like your vibe. Like, where are you vibrating from? Like, what are you letting off to the world? Okay, because if you're in an energy that's low, that's heavy, that's all of those things, like, you're not going to attract people to you. Okay, you are not going to be able to grow your business. You're not going to be able to have people join your team. You're not going to do whatever you do if you've got bad energy. It just is what it is. Okay, and you've all met people that you're like, I don't know what it is about them, but I just want to be around them. Right? Like, you can't put it into words. It's their energy, it's their vibe, it's that they're magnetic, right? They're attracting people, and that's the kind of person you need to be if you're an entrepreneur and you want to grow your business, okay? And really, in general, don't we all want to be that, right? Like, who wants to be in a bleh energy all the time? Nobody. So what do we got to do to have better energy, to be better in business? We've got to be able to raise our vibe. We've got to be able to see like what's bringing us down and like why we're where we're at. So here's what I realized, and I would invite you guys to look at where you're at and what's going on with you. So for me, I literally was in the diet cycle for 25 years. That's terrible, you guys. Like, I started limiting my food like terribly in high school. So I was 17. I didn't get out of any kind of like, I had moments, but I didn't get out of the diet cycle until a year ago, and I was 41. So you do the math. That's a long freaking time. So the thing about the diet cycle, you guys, is that this is what happened for me. So I was always, you know, I had really unhealthy bouts with food to where I was, you know, bulimic and throwing up and not eating like anything and seeing like how little I could survive on whatever. Like, that was 15 years ago. But even since CrossFit, like, I was always restricting. I was always paying attention, right? Like, can I eat this? Can I not eat that? Food was good. Food was bad. I was good. I was bad. Like, I was always so focused on what I couldn't eat. Okay, so here's the thing. If you're living in the diet cycle, okay, the diet cycle is like you're on a diet or you're off a diet and then you're just feeling guilty about it, because that's where so many of you guys are at, right? Either like there's just no harmony, right? So there's always this battle. So for me, it was like, okay, well, I can't have this. I can't have that. I shouldn't have this. I shouldn't have that. Oh, I had this. Now I feel bad. Blah, 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 blah. I was spending way too much time thinking about it. So I wasn't able to do other things in my life because I was spending so much time on it. But the other thing is that when you are living in a diet cycle, you are living in an energy of lack. I don't care how you look at it, you are living in an energy of lack. If you're continuously telling yourself, you can't have this, you can't have that, or you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, or, you know, you're berating yourself for, you know, what you look like in the mirror, you should have done this, or you should have got up earlier, you should have, whatever, should have, could have, didn't. Like, you're in lack energy, okay? You cannot attract abundance when you're in lack. You just can't. And like, I tried it for years, and I would get to like, I've had some good success in business, but never what I knew I was capable of. And that was because I still had that underlying lack. And so like I would find myself just right? Like I would be like, oh, I can't go to the cupboard, right? Like, oh gosh, I shouldn't have a handful of plantains. And as soon as I did that, that would change my energy. It would change my energy in business. It would change my energy with my friends. It would change everything, okay? So you guys have got to understand this. If you want to excel in business, you have got to deal with the diet binge cycle, okay? You have to get out of that cycle. And I don't care who you are, if you restrict for a long enough time, you're going to binge, okay? You may not call it a binge. It might be not an uncontrollable thing, but you're going to fall off. The wheels are going to fall off. You're going to be like, I had a bad weekend, right? Like we've all been there. It's because you're restricting, okay? Restriction leads to binging, period. Like it just does. I didn't want to hear that either, and maybe you don't want to hear it, but it does. If you are restricting, it will eventually lead to a binge, okay? So you need to come up with a good relationship with food, which is what we're going to work on. But you've also got to figure out, like, how do I fix that energy, okay? So how do I get out of that place of lack and limitation and into a place of abundance, okay? Abundance being love, money, growth, like all of those things. Like, how do you get out of lack? Lack is fear, you guys. Lack comes from fear. Dieting comes from fear, okay? Fear of whatever. Fear of not being loved. Fear of not being worthy. Fear of not having the body you want. Fear of being seen. Fear of not having confidence. It comes from fear, okay? Getting into a place where you're in harmony with food and with your body and with all of that, that comes from love. That comes from loving your body. That comes from loving your worth, knowing your worth, and knowing that you can step into it, okay? So what did I do personally? So I was scared. Like I was so scared to give up my macros. And you guys have maybe heard this story, but I was like, that was my need for control. And I'll do another video on this, but I was like, what happens if I do this? Like what happens if it doesn't work? What happens if whatever, that was fear. And I had to say, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But I had to learn how to change my state in a way that wasn't connected to food, okay? So, yes, Veronica, totally about taking care of everyone else. And I say this all the time, moms, this is a really good point. You cannot pour from an empty cup, okay? I learned that. So this is exactly what I was going to talk about. What changed everything for me was, diving into this and actually feeling my emotions, but I started setting up a morning routine that was non-negotiable. That was my time, okay? For me, you guys, that's 3:30 in the morning. Okay, so don't tell me you don't have time. You can create time, right? I go to bed at 8 o'clock because it's 3:30 in the morning. But at 3:30 in the morning, I'm like, this is what I need for me, okay? For me, it's stretching. It's sort of like flowy, I don't know, like flowy stretching. Sometimes I just straight meditate. Sometimes I do breath work. But for me, like I feel good when I move, okay? That's the other thing about emotions, their energy in motion. So when you're moving, you release them, okay? But for me, it's listening to some kind of meditation, an audio, something, setting an intention. But I get up and I spend that time, okay? I spend that time meditating, focusing on where I want to be, setting my intentions for the day, being very clear on who I want to show up as and how I want to feel, right? You get to choose your energy, okay? So I used to get up and I would be like, I was a hustle for my worth all the time. So a year and a half ago, I would get up at that hour, but I would go downstairs and I would bike. I would bike for an hour and I would listen to Grant Cardone and I would get all fired up. And like to some degree that was okay, but it wasn't putting me in a calm state. It was putting me in this all the time. I lived in this all the time, right? You guys feel that? You know what it feels like when you're doing this? You're not attracting people. You're not growing your business, right? Like you've got to flow. And that's the thing I've had to learn the most. So I'm ranting, I'm sorry. So what do I do now? Instead of getting up and biking, and biking was fear, you guys, fear of, well, if I could just burn a few more calories, then I could blah, 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 right? Like I literally remember saying to Brandon, well, maybe if I just burn more, I can eat more. I don't know, maybe I should deal with my stuff and then I wouldn't have to worry about any of that. Shocking. But anyway, so I used to get up and I would go. I was thinking about business. Who's I going to talk to? How's I going to grow this? What did the gym need? What did Rame need? What did my, network marketing business need? Like, I was thinking about all those things. And although to some degree that was good, it left me in overwhelm all the time. So now I get up and I'm calm and it's quiet and I get to set my intentions and I get to decide who I want to be that day. And I get to breathe. You guys, breathe. If you have kids, you don't ever get to breathe. And I had to make that decision that was going to be a thing for me. And it has been 9 months. I have missed one day. And I missed one day because I didn't set my alarm and I woke up at 4:55 and I had to be at the gym at 5:05. So there was no time for meditation that day. And I'll tell you what, you guys, I did not feel as good. So I've decided, like, this is what works for me. I meditate, I journal, I brain dump, I set my intentions, I get quiet, okay? I had to learn that I had to have space that was calm. So, like, our living room, we have kids, there's toys everywhere. So before I go to bed, I clean up all those toys. Okay, so I don't have to like get up and like clean up the toys, right? So I have a yoga mat that I do all of my stuff on. I know what meditation or what book, if I'm listening to a book or whatever, like whatever that is for you, there's no, like, I can't tell you what's going to work for you. You have to experiment with that. So sometimes it's meditation. Like right now I'm doing the Oprah and Deepak one. When I was in my program, there was a lot of stuff from that. I've made my own. Sometimes I listen to my own meditations, which is interesting, listening to yourself tell you what to do. Sometimes it's books, right? So figure out what that is. When I started, so Skylar sleeps with me, she's 3, and usually when I get up, she gets up. So I could have made the excuse that, oh, she's awake, I'm gonna not do this. But what I did instead was I taught her, we get up, you get to, like, she still eats those little, like, fruit packs, so she has a pack, I'll snuggle with her for a few minutes, and then she knows I'm gonna do yoga, and she's right beside me. And she'll go back to sleep, right? And so I could have let her be my excuse. I could have been like, kids, whatever, but I didn't. So what you've got to do is you've got to say, this is what I need, okay? So if it's changing your morning routine, I tell you what, you guys, if you get into that habit, it will change your whole life. Your morning routine will change your whole life because it sets the intention, it sets your energy for the day, and it lets you get to that place that you want to be, okay? Don't turn on your phone, don't look at email, don't look at social media, know what you're gonna do and get up and go do it, okay? Take that half an hour for yourself. I love sleep, and sleep is very important, but I can pretty much tell you if you feel overwhelmed all the time, a half an hour of sleep is not going to help you more than getting up and doing the meditation. Herlinda, I will totally get you that stuff. So if you guys want some of my meditations, let me know. I've got a bunch of different ones. I'm happy to get them to you. Hi, Kelly. So set that morning routine, right? Is it going to be hard in the beginning? Probably. Like, I was not good. There's a perfectionist in me at meditating. Meditating's hard because my brain's like all over the place, right? So I had to figure out what worked for me, and I had to have intentions, and I had to be gentle with yourself, right? Like, you're not going to be amazing at it in the beginning because it's practice. And especially if you're that person, you're growing a business, you're an entrepreneur, you're in the hustle, you don't calm down very often, and you don't slow down very often, okay? But you need to slow down so that you can have that drive, okay? So set your morning routine. What else helps your energy? Get in the right vibe. Get around people that raise your vibe, right? If there's people on your social media that are bringing you down, get rid of them, okay? If there's people in your real life that are bringing you down and you can get away from them, right? Like, all of the things that are going to drag you down, okay? You need to nourish your body, okay? My flow program, there's the 4 pieces to it, and I believe 100% these are the things. You have to be moving your body, okay? If you're not moving, you're not going to be at your highest vibe. That just is what it is. Bodies need to move. Do whatever feels good to you. I don't care what it is. Running, CrossFit, Pilates, yoga, whatever you need to do, move your body because you're going to feel better, okay? You need to nourish your body, okay? Not restrict it, not count calories, not count macros. You need to nourish your body. What foods do you need to eat that make you feel your best? Again, this is you. You get to be your own science experiment. So what do you need to nourish your body? So movement, nourishment. You need to feel, okay? That's part of what we start with meditation, is learning how to actually feel into your body, how to listen to your body, how to understand your intuition, and how to turn off all the fear that's going on in your brain and listen to your body. You guys, your intuition, your heart, you know what the right answers are. It's not that hard. Like, you know what they are. We just chose to, like, not know how to listen anymore, okay? So, flow, nourish, move, feel, and then reaching to the connection to our brain, right? Like, our brains are incredibly powerful. We've got to be mindful, okay? I don't like the word mindset, because mindset without the connection to your body doesn't get you anywhere. Like, you can have the best thoughts ever, but when you get that anxious feeling in your body and you're like, no, I'm gonna throw up, this is terrible, like, it's not gonna work, okay? So you have to retrain your brain. So to me, it's mindfulness, and it's changing the mind-body connection, okay? So if you wanna grow your business, stop dieting, okay? If you want to change your energy, start a morning routine, start a bedtime routine. I'll do a whole nother video on that, but start a bedtime routine so you don't go to bed after watching your phone and numbing out and doing all those things, right? Morning routine, nourish, move, feel, and be mindful, okay? So that's what I've got for you guys today. If you have questions, let me know. Again, if you are interested in coaching, hit me up. We can jump on a call and we'll chat. If you're interested in Flow, which launches the end of May, and you want to know more about that, DM me, let me know. You guys can always go to my website. It is thehappinessendeavor.com. Check out that. I'm going to have some more giveaways on there sooner than later, as soon as I feel like you're out the tech side of the giveaway and why it's not working. But you guys can jump over there. You can hear more about my story and check out all the blog stuff. So hope you guys are well. Let me know what questions you have. Thanks for jumping on, gang, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.